Hey loves, I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita, and you are tuned into The Lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. We're streaming on wordradio.com and the free Word app, available in the Apple app and Google Play stores. It's currently 56 degrees and cloudy in Philly with a low of 47 tonight. Definitely a little burr. It was definitely a little burr today, y'all. I felt like fall. I felt like fall was here, and I think I'm ready. I'm not sure. I think so. Verdict's still out. I hear some folks are already getting hit with a little taste of winter. I'm definitely not ready for that yet. That can hold off just a little bit longer. Okay. But anywho, happy Throwback Thursday. If you have a throwback jam you want to hear, call in now to get your request in. 215-634-8065. Again, 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free, 866-361-0900. Again, 866-361-0900. It's Healthy Thursday in the Lounge. And as I mentioned last Thursday, October has been designated as a month to shine an intentional light on a few different health and wellness related topics. So we have domestic violence awareness, pregnancy and infant loss awareness, and breast cancer awareness. So last week we spoke with Lynette Trawick, a domestic violence survivor who got out of the toxic relationship only to later learn that she tested positive for HIV. And Lynette has since gone on to live a full life. She's married with children and started an organization focused on supporting women living with HIV and just the overall empowerment of all women. And so we also welcome the ladies of the weekly YouTube show, Let's Be Clear, with Janika and Doc. Shout out to Janika and Doc. We welcome them on to discuss mainly women who have experienced miscarriages and those who support them through it. So those are some of the conversations we've already been having. But tonight, we're welcoming two guests. At 8 p.m., we're going to have Jo Conyers on. She's going to join us to share her story of infant loss. Her first pregnancy was compromised at 5 months when she went into early labor and delivered a baby boy named Bryant, who transitioned 2 hours later. So her next two pregnancies were then extremely high risk. Jo is now a wife, a mother of two, and an advocate for mothers who have experienced pregnancy and infant loss. So we'll be chatting with her at 8 p.m. And then at 9 p.m., we'll welcome Miss Marilyn Wilson and her daughter, Kiana Lawson. Miss Marilyn has breast cancer, and Kiana has become her biggest advocate and supporter. And so we're going to discuss Miss Marilyn's breast cancer journey, hear her message to those who are either entering or in the fight, and providing some tips for supporters of breast cancer fighters. So that's what and who we have in store for you on this Healthy Thursday. But I'm going to switch gears a little bit. Shout out to DJ Frosty Phoenix holding down the boards, the phone lines, and everything in between. Frosty, Friday Eve. My Friday, what is
I'm
that?
Kidding. I'm playing.
Whoa.
Yeah, the way she backed up when I pretended to.
Keep that over there, okay? I have beat bronchitis twice. I ain't got time for that, Frosty. Don't bring that in this studio.
I'm having cough-ish moments.
I don't know what that means, but
It's
showing
not-
out of here.
It's not.
Don't do this to me,
I
man.
can't. I'm good. I'm good.
I need a mask, y'all. I cannot. No, wait. So, Frosty, don't go leaving just yet. I
sorry.
mean, just stay in his space, but don't go leaving just yet.
I want a hug.
No, that's a wrap. No, but I need your opinion on something.
What's up?
Okay, so listen, right. So I'm at Wawa today, and basically a man tried to check me for opening the door for another man as I entered Wawa, right? So guy number one, his hands were full.
Okay.
And me just being who I am, like he's coming out, I'm going in, right? So he's paused trying to, I guess, figure out what he's about to do. So I opened the door for him because I'm going in anyway.
Right.
So he comes out, he stops, and he said, "Wow, that's a first. Thank you." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, you're welcome." Like, whatever. Keep it moving. I'm making my coffee because it's $1 coffee. So I'm making my coffee, and guy number two walks up, and he basically, like, with a bit of attitude, proceeds to ask me why I did that. Like, he was like, "I saw you from the parking lot, and why would you do that? Why would you open the door for him?" And I was like, "Why would you hold the door for him?" And I was like, "Because manners." Like, what you want me to say? And so he then went on to comment how the guy should have been opening the door for me, that he could have adjusted whatever was in his hand. And he added that because I'm a woman, I have no business doing such a thing, that a man should always be opening the door for me. So I just, I hit him with the blank stare, because I have grown within myself to know, I tell y'all every day. I tell y'all every day to taste your words before you feed them to someone else. And I knew that at that point in time, my sleepy, slightly cranky self, didn't get my coffee yet, wasn't going to respond in the best way. So I just had to do the blank stare with him. But that's going on, right? And so I replied, like, I have no problem with what I did. You do. Have a nice day. Go on, finish making my coffee. He then comes back and apologizes for his quote-unquote aggressiveness, commenting that, like, he could have said what he had to say in a better way. Again, blank stare, have a good day. So I want to know, and this is the question of the day too, y'all. In your opinion, especially for you, Frosty, as a guy, is it acceptable for a woman to hold the door open for a man, like in any circumstance? Is it okay for a woman to hold the door open for a man?
Heck yeah! Shoot!
I'm gonna get you some tea.
Heck yeah! That was a little bit of phlegm going at him. Heck yeah!
Because I'm trying to figure out, like, am I tripping? I mean, I don't really honestly believe that I am, but I'm just like, to me, it's about manners. And I don't care if it's a man, if it's a woman, if it's non-binary. I don't care who or what. If I see that your hands are full, or whatever else the case may be, and I open the door, I don't see the issue with it.
There wasn't one.
Okay.
Now I see me. If we were talking, this is radio. This is just talking person to person. Radio is just microphones and two people having conversation. Mm-hmm. For me, I'm the friend that will unpack the stuff, like, man, I think he was trying to hit on you. but I don't know. The first guy I thought was really surprising to say, oh, that's a first. I was like,
yeah, like, he really looked surprised. He was like, wow, that's a first. Thank you.
Is that a first? I was saying, is that a first for anybody opening the door for him, or a woman opening the door for him?
My feeling was that it was the first time a woman opened the door for him. That was my feeling. Mm-hmm. Just based off, like, he was just kind of stuck, and he gave me a once over and was like, wow, that's a first. Thank you.
Maybe, yeah.
So I don't know.
And then the second guy talking about misogyny, and to come back and go, oh, I apologize for my misogyny. Really?
Bro came from the parking lot to come tell me about myself.
I should have said it differently. You shouldn't have said it at all, bro.
That's your problem. I don't know, loves. I want to know your opinion. Is it acceptable for a woman to hold a door open for a man, like in any circumstance? Why or why not? I want to know that too. So call in to chime in, 215-634-8065. Again, 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free, 866-361-0900. Again, 866-361-0900. Shout out to our social media fam. They are always down to have to join the on-air conversation from online. So over on Facebook, Shelby said, absolutely, we are human. Anyone, any age, sex should hold the door for someone if needed, or even if not. Also, everyone should just smile, just saying. Isabella said, it is acceptable to have manners. It is acceptable to be a decent person. It is acceptable to be kind. It is also acceptable to give the blank stare and wish an idiot a good day. A good day. Cal said, what is wrong with my guy? Laugh out loud. Of course a woman can hold a door. The problem is a dude having a problem with it. Juana said, of course it's acceptable. Would he have said the same thing if the man was elderly with a cane, a man in a wheelchair? He just needed something to say, shaking my head. And then Julian said, I do it all the time, and doors are held open for me, and I always say thank you. It's not a big deal. And then last but not least, Jackson said, we got to drop this European weak woman damsel dairy nonsense. It's hatred and or inferiorization of women masked as care and concern. So that's what some of our folks are saying. I want to know your thoughts. So I want to know, is it acceptable for a woman to hold open a door for a man in any circumstance? So make sure you call in and chime in. But anywho, let's get into some of these headlines, because there's quite a bit that has been happening today. And of course, we got to start locally. 22-year-old Michael White has been found not guilty of voluntary manslaughter and guilty of tampering with evidence in the fatal stabbing of 37-year-old Sean Schellinger. The verdict was handed down by a jury of 8 women and 4 men after 3 days of testimony and 8 hours of deliberation. And so now White is scheduled to be sentenced on December 6th for that guilty verdict of tampering with evidence. So this case has really become a hotbed for racial and class tension in the city. White is black, Schellinger is white. Schellinger's death was the result of a traffic dispute at 17th and Chancellor that led to an altercation between the two, which ended with the real estate developer Schellinger being fatally stabbed in the back. So White's defense maintained that it was self-defense, an act taken after Schellinger wrapped his arms around White's waist and hoisted him into the air, like lifted him into the air, right? Sound like some real WWE type stuff. And then according to White, Schellinger allegedly uttered a racially charged comment in the process of advancing, towards him to attack him. And that comment was something along the lines of, Schellinger would attack White to the point where his melanin would be beat off him, right? Beat the black off you type of situation. So while much of White's testimony aligned with eyewitnesses, none of the witnesses reportedly made mention of this racially charged comment. So prosecutors, on the other hand, maintained that White inserted himself into something that basically didn't concern him, and that he then escalated the situation when he pulled out his knife. So White did flee from the scene. He later turned himself in the next day. Schellinger died the night of the incident. And so we now have one mother who is relieved that her son has been exonerated, and 2 parents who believe Krasner, quote unquote, has blood on his hands, that justice was not served. And, they no longer have a son here with them. There has been public debate about whether or not justice has been served, and I'm sure some of you have your opinions. So feel free to call in and chime in, keeping in mind that we have one young man who, though exonerated, is likely still traumatized, and will be for some time, and another who no longer has life, period. Okay, so you can call in to chime in 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free 866-361-0900. We got our phone lines lit up. Let's go to Andrew in Philly. Hey, Andrew, welcome to the lounge.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
I don't think it's any female opening the door for a male. I think it's just basic common courtesy,
Gotcha. Yeah, so you said you don't see an issue with a woman open a door.
No, I don't see an issue.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, thank you, Andrew, for chiming in. Let's go to Kathy out of Southwest Philly. Hey, Kathy, welcome to the lounge.
Hi, Kathy. Hi. Oh, mercy, Lord. No, I agree with the young man. There's no problem with a young lady opening the door for another man. He has something in his hand. It's consideration, it's respect, and it's manners.
Yeah, because, I'm standing there. I'm like, so what if I had just, thank you for chiming in, Kathy. But, in my head, I'm like, so I was just supposed to stand on my side of the door and wait for him to struggle to try to get through the door and then expect him to hold the door so that I could get through?
Yep.
That's not me as a person. I don't know. I do know that's not me as a person. Let's go to Cynthia out of Winfield. Hey, Cynthia, thank you for calling the lounge.
Hey, I want to know, who are these people? They don't have any manners? I was taught manners as a child.
That's all it was to me, was just like, okay, well, let me do for somebody what I hope someone would do for me. If I have my hands full, let me open the door.
What does gender have to do with that? That's kind of weird, don't you think?
I did think. I definitely thought so.
Because even look, with elderly, you see them struggling. It's the same thing. I'm going to help them.
Exactly.
So I'm saying, who are these people?
Listen, we're asking the same question right now. I have to be honest. And now, mind you, y'all, I'm 31, so I'm like, okay, maybe, you know, and he was not older than me now. Now I'm thinking about it. He couldn't have been past like 40. So, because at first I'm like, all right, is this maybe a generational thing? But then I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, no, bruh, that's not. Trash. Anywho, let's go to Miss Diane out of South Philly. Hey, Miss Diane, thanks for calling the lounge.
Hi, Sarita. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
Good. You did the right thing. I think, that was one of the fruit of spirit, being kind to one another. If you see someone, they have a bag in their hand, they can't hardly open the door, that's what we're supposed to do. That's the right thing to do. I don't see no with the man that approached you. Something wrong with him.
Yeah, I definitely, I just, even then, I had to remember, like I say on the radio every night, to taste taste your words before you feed them to someone else.
You did the right thing. Keep on doing what you're doing, helping others.
Thank you. I will. I will. All right, we got to get ready to take a break. But you know what? I want to set this up to take us into the break. We got that video? Yeah. All right. So it is, just FYI, a sad day for the nation. As we all learn of the passing of Representative Elijah E. Cummings. His wife confirmed his transition, stating that at the age of 68, he succumbed to, and I'll quote here, complications concerning longstanding health challenges. Representative Cummings was the son of sharecroppers, and preachers who went on to become arguably one of the most powerful Democrats in Congress. As of recently, he has been had been an integral. He played an integral role in the impeachment investigation of President Trump. And if you are familiar with, just his career, he fought relentlessly for his hometown of Baltimore. He fought to maintain integrity in the government, and he fought for fairness. And so there's this clip of him sharing a poem during his first speech from the House floor in, I believe, 1996 that I want to play for you. And I think this poem really largely sums up the perspective and work ethic of a man that many knew and loved and respected. Most importantly, and respected. So I want to say rest in power to Representative Elijah Cummings. And what? Technology? Come on, Frosty, get it together. I want the folks to hear this. It was good, too. It was good, darn it. All right, y'all. Frosty messed up. He messed up the flow. All right, so what we'll do, we're going to work on our tech issues, because I really want you all to hear this poem that he read. So we'll work on the tech issues, and I'll see if when we come back on the other side, I can play it for you, okay? So stay tuned. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. We'll be back after these messages.
Brothers and sisters!
Don't miss The Source.
Weekdays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
on WURD Radio.
WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Family Therapy Vignette Moments with Dr. Lucille Ijoy. The call is out. Don't make me shout. Go learn about the new voting machines. The new voting machines. Register. Vote. We must. And don't let nobody turn you around. The call is out. Don't make me shout. Go learn about the new voting machines. The new voting machines. Register. Vote. We must. And don't let nobody turn you around.
Honey, it's our favorite time of year, and I got you something to celebrate.
A McRib! It's just what I wanted.
Happy McRib season, sweetie.
I love you.
I love you too.
Actually, I was talking to my McRib.
Oh, okay, well, I'll leave you two alone.
McRib season is here, but not for long. Get one now for just $3.99. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. WURD.
We filmed Pennsylvania adoptive families and asked them why more people need to become foster or adoptive parents.
As a society, we have a responsibility to make sure every kid gets from being a kid to being a responsible adult.
I would encourage anybody to do it. You get so much more out of it than you expect.
Visit adoptpakids.org to watch the video, meet the kids, and learn how you can become a foster or adoptive parent.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
It's the rapping professor. Did you miss me?
Well, I'm coming back to the airways, y'all. Every Saturday starting November 2nd, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. The rapping professor.
Bringing the truth into context like nobody else.
We're going to turn up, and the turn up is 1 p.m. starting November 2nd. That's right, 1 p.m. November 2nd, the return of the rapping professor. You're turning up with word, y'all.
The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on Word Radio.
Yeah. Chicka-doom, chicka-doom, chicka-doom.
Yeah, that's the song.
That's the joint, that's the jam. Turn it up and play it again. That's the joint, that's the jam. Turn it up, play it again. That's the joint, that's the jam. Turn it up and play it again. I like the way the rhythm makes me jump and move. It got the feeling that makes me wanna do my do. Got me feeling joy till my gray sky blue. And when you hear a cup, baby doll, I know you. We're feeling, huh? Get up on the floor, start moving, son. Body part stack, got brothers acting down, and they be acting down from the cut that's play on. People breaking neck from this demonstration. We about mass appeal, no segregation. Got black to Asian and Caucasian, saying that's the joint, that's the jam. Turn it up and play it again. That's the joint, that's the jam. Turn it up and play it again. Let your body collide to the rhythm provided by the mind state affairs. Classified to make your heat up and flare. I swear, a serenade of soul and so beware. And what's happening here? Sequel to heavenly feeling, a peace of mind. Let your spine unwind. Maybe in time you can stop this crime. But until then, yo, I'ma rock a rhyme saying that's the joint, that's the jam. Turn it up and play it again. That's the joint, that's the jam. Turn it up, play it again. It's the jam, it's the jam, it's the jam, it's the jam. It's like groove, it's the feeling. A chicken-doom, yeah, that's the jam, it's the jam, it's the jam, it's the jam. It's like groove, it's the meaning. A chicken-doom, yeah, that's the jam. Got the states appeal with the junk that's real. I don't need no steel to make my point. Get down and dirty, cause that's my joint. Hot, we preferably make our point through a nation we build off the musical field or a visual thrill. We do what we feel, anytime or place, on stage in your face, orbiting in earth and outer space. Because we rock that shit, we flip that shit. We on some East Coast, West Coast, cosmic shit, some northbound shit, some southbound shit, some overseas London, out of town shit. Rocking the joint, rocking the jam. Turn it up and play it again. Cause that's the joint, that's the jam. Turn it up and play it again. That's the joint, that's the jam. Turn it up and play it again. That's the joint, that's the jam. Turn it up and play it again. It's the jam, it's the jam, it's the jam. It's that groove, it's that feeling. A chicken-doom, that's the jam, it's the jam, it's the jam, it's the jam. It's that groove, it's the meaning. A chicken-doom, yeah, that's the jam.
That's the Black Eyed Peas with Joints and Jam. You're back in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. It's Healthy Thursday in the lounge. So we got a really great show lined up for you all tonight. We're going to be discussing pregnancy and infant loss awareness, breast cancer awareness, some amazing guests that are lined up for that. It's also Throwback Thursday. So if you have a throwback jam that you want to hear, call in to get your request in, 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free, 866-361-0900. You can also use those same phone numbers to chime in on the question of the day, which is, in your opinion, is it acceptable for a woman to hold open a door for a man in any circumstance? Like, is it okay? Why or why not? So you can use those numbers to call in. But prior to break, we were chatting about Representative Elijah Cummings on his passing, and I had a clip that I wanted you all to take a listen to. It's of him sharing a poem during his first speech from the House floor in 1996. And I think this poem really just largely sums up the perspective and work ethic of a man that so many knew, loved, and respected. So DJ Frosty Phoenix, let's play that.
Perrin Mitchell said many, many years ago that I say sometimes 20 times a day, and it's a very simple poem, but it's one that I live by. It says, I only have a minute, 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, I did not choose it, but I know that I must use it. Give account if I abuse it, suffer if I lose it. Only a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it. And so I join you as we move forward to uplift not only the nation, but the world. May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
Beautiful, beautiful words and a poem shared by Representative Elijah Cummings. A message indeed for us to take with us as we continue on now here without him. At least in spirit, we have him. But, to move forward, to uplift the nation and the world, right? So rest in power to him. We have some callers on the line, so I want to take our callers. Let's take her, clear the line, and then we'll welcome our friends from Read by Fourth on. So Kelly out of South Philly. Hey, Kelly, welcome to the lounge.
Yes, hi. My opinion has a little twist. I think that, both man and a woman should hold the door for each other. But there was a guy that told me that women have fought for their rights. So therefore that, women are equal. So men shouldn't have to do the things that they used to, do long time ago, like hold the door open for a woman and all this, that, and the third. So with your story or what happened to you, it's like sending a message that, if by you being a woman, if you can hold the door open for a man, then what's a man's problem? It has nothing to do with, women fighting for their rights. It's just out of common courtesy that they should hold the door open for us.
Right. Well, I mean, I say, my thing was, it just came down to manners. It just came down to a matter of politeness for me. It wasn't about, gender roles. It was just what's the human thing to do here? I see someone with their hands full. Let me help. There's no need for us to stand on either side of this door. And because of societal gender roles, I'm going to stand on this side of the door in the wind till you open the door, hold the door for me so that I can get in. I personally can't get with that. So that's just me. But anywho, I got to move on to welcome our friends from Read by Fourth. They're back for a chat. This time around, we're discussing easy, fun, everyday activities parents can do with kids to help them learn sounds and letters. And we're also going to chat about an upcoming family engagement conference that's happening this Saturday. I'm telling you, there's a lot going on this weekend. Wait until I tell you about some of the events that are happening. But we have Sean Kirshner, Executive Director of Achieve Now, and Elizabeth Ferrugia, Deputy Chief of Specialized Services for All Mastery Charter Schools. Welcome to the lounge, Sean and Elizabeth.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course, of course. So let's kind of jump right into this. Tell folks, first and foremost, I gave them the title, but let them know, a little bit about what you do at each of your places of work.
Great. Well, I'll go first. I'm Elizabeth. I'm the Deputy Chief, again, of Specialized Services at Mastery. We're a network of about 24 schools across Philadelphia and Camden, and we educate about 14,000 students. And my role is to ensure that each student has the right academic and social-emotional support to be successful in school.
Gotcha. Okay. And Sean?
Yeah, as you said, I'm the executive director of Achieve Now, and we are a literacy nonprofit. We work with K-2 children to get them to grade-level reading in an accelerated time frame by recruiting and training volunteers to work one-on-one with them in building their foundational skills.
Got you. Okay, so both Mastery and Achieve Now are partners of Read by Fourth, right? And Read by Fourth, again, it's bringing together everyone in Philadelphia who can help our kids learn to read, right? We are working together to get our kids what they need. And so, Sean, Elizabeth, there's something called, and I could be pronouncing it wrong, and feel free to educate me on this, phonemic awareness? Phonemic. Phonemic awareness. Clearly, I need to work on my sounds and learning. But can you tell us a bit about that? Because this is all about hearing sounds, every sound in a word, hearing patterns, all of that. So tell us a little bit about phonemic awareness.
I'd love to. I'm happy to. So phonemic awareness is really important because before kids can learn how to read print, on a book, they have to understand that words can be broken down into smaller units and then sounded out, right? So if kids can hear each word in a sound, or excuse me, each sound in a word, they can become much, much better readers and especially much, much better spellers. So I think there's a couple things that parents can do, especially parents of pre-K and K kids, because those are the kids who should really be developing their phonemic awareness. That's the perfect place, the perfect time in their development to develop these phonemic awareness skills. A couple things you can do with your kids to help develop these. It's real simple games you can play with your child. You can say something like, I'm going to say a word, and you tell me just the first sound you hear in this word. And then you can say a word like pot. And the child can make the sound P. So the idea is that the child hears that very first sound and is able to isolate it from the other sounds in the word. And you can try this with lots of everyday words. The words that you're, like when you go to the grocery store, you can say banana, or when when you're getting ready to go to school, you can say bus or teacher. So there's lots of everyday words that you can do this with. And then once you've done this a little bit, you can start to extend it a little bit. You can ask your child, hey, can you name anything else? Can you think of anything else that begins with that same P sound? And then the child can think about it and say pet or pen or something even longer like pencil. And then you can say to your child, how many words can you name that begin with that same sound? And then see how many they can do. And if they name a lot of them, you can give them some love or a cookie.
Yeah, I was about to say food is a good thing. Snacks always are great rewards.
We don't want to always give them extrinsic rewards. We want them to be intrinsically motivated, but sometimes a cookie is going to get a few extra words. Let me actually share another game if I can. This is actually a little bit easier for kids oftentimes than identifying the first sound of a word. And you can say something like, I'm going to say a word, and you tell me a word that rhymes with it. So you can say, for example, you can say the word hop. And then, the child can say as many words as she or he can think of that rhyme with hop. So she might say stop or shop or bop or mop or pop. And the cool thing about this is the words don't even have to be real words, right? They can say zop or dop if they want to. Those are actually great examples. So like with the other, you can say, hey, so tell me how many words you can think of that rhyme with the word, like in this case, pop. And again, if they give you a bunch of them, you can give them a hug, give them a high five, give them a cookie, whatever you want.
Got you. So, Elizabeth, with you being at Mastery, and of course Mastery is grades K through 12, all the Mastery charter schools, 24 schools, but in Philly and Camden, grades K through 12. What role does Read by Fourth, you all being a partner in Read by Fourth, how does that tie into the work that you're doing on a daily basis?
It's great. So, Read by Fourth is an amazing organization. I love the collective part of it where everyone's coming together to promote literacy, and it's not just in the schools. But we have participated in their parent training, so we've used the resources to train parents that then train other parents in early literacy strategies to use at home. And they have a bunch of materials, too, that we've incorporated. I'm on the board, too, and so I'm helping to design some of that work. And
awesome.
It's really great. There's so many opportunities for people around the city to get involved in it, whether you're a big organization or a small organization. Additionally, just everyone can become reading captains, which is a great opportunity. You find out information about literacy events happening around the city, and you just share them with your neighbors. So there's lots of opportunities.
Yeah. And I know that you mentioned, or I know there are like parent workshops on early reading skills. And you also mentioned the resources that you all have, like this kind of bag full of materials and, just access to materials. So for those who want to learn more about this, or, maybe are looking for a website that they can head to, where would you direct them to?
Yeah, they can find, there's a few different ways. They could definitely easily go to the website to find out where the next parent trainings are happening. The school district is hosting one this Saturday, too. Additionally, at the 440. And then it'd be great if you just went into your local school, whatever school your kid's enrolled at, and asked them about the opportunities to bring it to your school.
Got you. So that's readby4th.org is the website they can head to. And I think it's like /workshops. So readby4th.org /workshops. They can go there to sign up for workshops. But of course, like you just said, also ask the administration at their child's school.
Yeah.
Got you. So 2 days from now, on Saturday the 19th, there's the Family Engagement Conference. It's happening from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the School District of Philadelphia in the Education Center. What are some things parents can expect or guardians can expect at this event?
I'm not sure about all the things, but I know with the training in particular, they'd be able to do activities with their kids that then they can take home the materials. Nice. And practice these early literacy skills. There'll be phonemic awareness activities and phonics activities, and all of these are the foundations for becoming strong readers. They're really important, and it's important that they're practicing at home as well as at school, and so they'll get all those resources there.
All right. Well, loves, there you have it. Our friends from Read by Fourth. Just a reminder, again, on Saturday the 19th, there's the Family Engagement Conference from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's happening at the School District of Philadelphia in the Education Center, of course, the School District Building, 440 North Broad Street. And the event is really designed to help parents understand how to navigate the School District of Philadelphia to find services that will support their students' success, but also this reading component, right, to make sure that our students, our children, are becoming awesome readers. I hear there's going to be some free giveaways and lunch and raffles and childcare and all that good stuff, and interpretation provided. So listen, Sean and Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us in the lounge tonight and giving us all of these great resources and tips.
Great. Thank you so much.
Very welcome.
Of course. All right. Have a great night. And loves, look, we're going to get ready to take a quick break. But when we come back on the other side, as you know, this is my Friday in the lounge. This is DJ Frosty Phoenix's Friday Eve, but it's my Friday. So we're going to get you ready for the weekend with some events, let you know what all is happening so you can get on your calendar, get everything together, and just have a pretty lit weekend. So stay tuned. I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. We'll be back after these messages.
Brothers and sisters! Don't miss The Source. Weekdays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
on WURD Radio.
WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
The Uptown Theater presents the Chairman's Ball on Saturday, October 26th from 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. at the Berean Presbyterian Church, located at 2101 North Broad Street. Masquerade attire, black and white, is optional. Call 215-236-1878.
Be heard. Want another way to join the conversation?
Follow us on social media
using the hashtag onWURD.
Be heard.
Stay connected to WURD Radio.
Independent Black Media.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
WURD TV.
We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at forward. Word TV. Black Talk Media. The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on Word Radio.
I lay next to another woman, but I call out your name. Yeah, baby. And I really want to see you right now, but right now I can't change a thing. But just remember, girl, I love you. And as soon as I can, I'll break away and see you, baby. Oh, yeah, yeah. Sometimes it seems a million years between our little get-togethers. Oh yeah. But I know that you know that I know that you think things ain't gonna get any better. But just remember, girl, I love you. And as soon as I can, I'll break away and see you, baby. Yeah. 'Cause you're the outside woman, don't feel bad. Yeah. You know that I belong to another. Oh girl, yeah. You're supposed to understand just how I feel.
This is Kyle Ingram from Peyote Vision. Shout out to Jay Brown and DJ Ideal Boyfriend, and you are listening to The Lounge on WURD.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. 'Cause you're the outside woman, don't feel bad. Yeah. You're inside my heart, outside my reach. Yeah. Inside my heart, and it's tearing me apart. Yeah, 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 yeah. I love you, baby. I love you, baby. I need you, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Oh, baby. Just hold on. Just hold on. Just hold on. Just hold on. Just hold on.
It's Bloodstone with Outside Woman. Special request by Friendly Fred. I was just saying, he gave us a vibe, y'all. We was in here just feeling it. Shout out to everybody on Word TV who sees our antics here behind the scenes. If you're not tuned in, we are live on Facebook, so you can go to @4WURD, FORWURD. You can also go to @TheLoungeWord. Make sure you like both of those pages. Support. We need all the likes, y'all, all the likes. And tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, tell all them to like the pages. That's a like costs you nothing. It simply reflects the love, just a little bit of love. But yeah, so shout out to everyone who is tuned in to Word TV. If you didn't know, you can tap the live stream, but you can also host a watch party. So if you're on Facebook, when you scrolling or you just doing whatever, you can have a whole watch party up while you're doing what you do. So just something to think about. If you never hosted a watch party on Facebook, the lounge is a perfect time to try it, right? 7 to 10 p.m. Anywho, it's Thursday. Throwback Thursday in the lounge. And like I said, you just heard that throwback joint requested by Friendly Fred. If you want to take a walk down memory lane and, have us come with you with a jam, call in 215-634-8065. Again, 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free, 866-361-0900. Again, 866-361-0900. If you're tuned into the live, you can just drop your request in the comments, because I'm watching the live, right? As I'm the one that's on the live. I got it up. I'm keeping an eye on comments and all that stuff. So another way to get in contact with us. But anywho, the weekend events, weekend rundown. Okay, shout out to the Anderson Street Project, Evan Burton. Every week he curates a newsletter that has all of the happenings in Philly, and so we try to make sure we share them here on the lounge so that you know what's going on. So tonight, of course, Thursdays are for Love at the Saint with DJ Geek. That's at 2nd and Girard. It's free all night. Tomorrow night, shout out to the Black Male Educators. We love y'all. We see y'all. We appreciate y'all. The Fellowship of Black Male Educators will be convening in Philly this weekend for Ed Fest 2019. It's hosted by yours truly, by the way. It's a 3-day conference really addressing issues in and out of the classroom. And so the conference is going to be kicking off with a free and open to all networking reception at the TLA from 7 to 10 p.m. That's tomorrow night. There's free Heinekens all night. So if you're free, come out, enjoy, have a good time. And then also on Friday night, DJ Heavenly and Select the Sex will be teaming up for Heavenly's female-driven honey party tomorrow night. It's taking place at the Dolphin from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. And last but not least, you can catch Freeway at Ardmore Music Hall. Shout out to Freeway. Even though what we do is wrong. Look, oh, right. There go a throwback joint we could play. There we go. DJ Frosty Phoenix is about to go in. Saturday night, Friends and Fam is going down at Warehouse on Watts. Of course, resident DJ Matt Law will be teaming up with Japan's very own DJ Raimu. So make sure if you're free, you can go out, have a good time. Again, Warehouse on Watts, Saturday night. And then Sunday is packed. But the main event that you need to know about on Sunday is the EcoWord Environmental Justice Summit. You are invited to join Word Radio for dynamic community conversations about the connections between race, income, and the environment, and talking about that, examining all of that on a local, regional, and national level, of course, with the primary focus being Philly. So there's going to be lightning talks with leading environmental justice advocates. There's going to be a chat and musical performance by Ill-Fated Natives. There's going to be an EcoWord photo exhibit by Zamani Feelings called Wasted, which is really set to examine the trash crisis here in the city. And then there's going to be the Livelihood Green Sector Job Resource Fair. And then last but not least, there's going to be a Healing Drum Circle by Music Over Matter with a special presentation focused on breast cancer awareness. So it's going to be refreshments served, all that good stuff. It's going down at Bartram's Garden, 5400 Lindbergh Boulevard, from 2 to 5 p.m. So you can RSVP today. Head to wordradio.com. You can also call 215-425-7875. Again, 215-425-7875. All right? Some other events happening Sunday night. Soul Glow. It's featuring DJ Damas and Eddie Limo. You're invited to join them for some house, some disco, some classic soul at Win-Win from 3 to 8 p.m. And then Sabrina, Claudio, and Gallant, they're going to be at the Fillmore October 19th. So that's that Sunday. Okay, so quite a bit going on. Something to keep on the radar, though. November 1st, the Walter P. Lomax Jr. MD Speaker Series is happening at the Barnes Foundation. And then the legendary duo, Method Man and Redman, are coming to the brand new venue, the Ave, on November 23rd. And if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Cheeks is going to be opening. I ain't heard from or about Mr. Cheeks in who knows how long, but boy's still around doing what he does. So that is your weekend rundown. I hope you heard something that you might want to check out. Another place I'll be this weekend is with the African American Chamber of Commerce. So their Level Up Summit is happening. I will be moderating a panel on Saturday titled No Is Not Never, Just Not Right Now. It's featuring Catherine Gilmore Richardson, Alan King, Janae Robinson, and Mina Say What. And again, that's the African American Chamber of Commerce's Level Up Summit. So if you head to aachamber.org/level up. You can get all of the details there. And, it's all about reclaiming your hustle and your grind and, just making sure you go to the next level in what you're doing. So that's all for our weekend rundown, y'all. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, I'm going to welcome my next guest of the evening, Joe Conyers. We're going to be discussing, or excuse me, I should say our discussion is really going to be tied to one of the awarenesses that's going on this month, that being pregnancy and infant loss, right? Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. So stay tuned. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. It's Healthy Thursday. We'll be back after these messages.
Don't miss the Electric Magazine Show, hosted by Cody Anderson and Vicki Leach. Saturday mornings from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. Exclusively on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD.
Independence is a precious thing, but now and then everyone needs a little help. Isn't it good to know that getting the help you need doesn't mean drastically changing your life? Always Best Care Philly and Delaware is there to give you just the amount of help you need, from a few hours a week to as many hours as you need, handling everything from light housekeeping to meals, and so much more. Don't struggle. Contact Always Best Care and see how easy it is to age in place. Call us at 267-909-9248 or visit abcphillybristol.com.
Family Therapy Vignette Moments with Dr. Lucille Ijoy. Is it time to consider a nursing home for someone? Nursing home journeys are not easy. Talk with your family and the person who will be the patient. Be open for ideas and ready for a few tears or pushbacks. Check with health professionals and nursing home facilities. Gather your team who can be visitors for the new resident. Stay prayerful. You've come this far by faith, so keep the faith and go forward.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, the way they talk, the way they touch their hair. We hold details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones that we carry with us every day. Can we describe them when everything's right? Can we feel when something's wrong? Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breasts can save it. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. That's knowyourgirls.org. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council.
We are progressive and proud and interactive. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at onWURD. This is Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia. Streaming live at wordradio.com. Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at ForWord. Word TV. Black Talk Media. The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on Word Radio.
Feel that you can make it all alone. Remember, no one is big enough to go it alone. Just ask the lonely, they know the hurt and pain of losing a love you can never reach. The young and foolish laugh at love, so run away. Confident and sure that fate will bring another love their way. But ask the lonely how vainly a heart can yearn for losing a love that will never
That's the Four Tops, Ask the Lonely. It's a caller request, Throwback Thursday in the Lounge. If you have a music song request, get it in, 215-634-8065. Again, 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free, 866-361-0900. Again, 866-361-0900. Okay? Throwback Thursday. Take us down memory lane with you, okay? But anyhow, it is a few different awareness months happening right now. October covers domestic violence awareness, pregnancy and infant loss awareness, and breast cancer awareness. And I gave you all a rundown a little earlier about some of the guests that we would be having on. And during this 8 p.m. hour, I get to welcome Jo Conyers joining us to share her story, which is connected to infant loss. Her first pregnancy was compromised at 5 months when she went into early labor and delivered a baby boy named Bryant, who transitioned 2 hours later. And she'll tell you a bit more about that experience and about her next 2 pregnancies, which were extremely high risk as well. But Jo is now a wife, a mother of 2, and she advocates for mothers who have experienced pregnancy and infant loss. She's also TU alum, so shout out to TU. And Jo, Jo, welcome to the lounge.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
This is so exciting.
Of course. All right, so we've like been in each other's atmosphere, known each other for some time.
So long.
Yeah, and we are so young. And no, but I just remember how transparent you were about all that you were experiencing as far as infant loss. And I want to first start with just you letting folks know in your own words, you know, who you are, what you do, whatever it is you want them to know about you. And then we can dive into the journey a bit.
Okay. Well, thanks again for having me. This show is amazing. So congratulations.
Thank you, babe.
You're welcome. So, yeah, my name is Jo. I am 31 years old. I am a mom of 3. I have 2 rainbow babies and 1 angel baby named Bryant. And basically with Bryant, that was my first pregnancy. And it ended at 5 months because I had something called cervical incompetency, which means that my cervix was short. And it basically caused me to go into an early labor. And with that happening, I was fully dilated at 5 months, had to go through the whole entire labor process. Bryant was born, but unfortunately he only lived for 2 hours before he passed away. So that experience was traumatic, to say the least, and it did change me. But I also think that it was something that I had to go through in order to prepare me for my next 2 pregnancies. So, yeah, now we're here.
So for those who don't know, and that's a correction on my part, a wife and mother of 3, and I think that is a prime example of why this awareness month is needed, right?
Yeah.
For the awareness of sensitivity and of understanding around this, because that is indeed, I think, what some folks just don't realize or struggle, may struggle to really like comprehend that. From the moment a child is in the womb, they have already already have their place in the family.
Right.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit, just even about, did you know anything about cervical insufficiency prior to this, or was this something that you found out at that 5-month mark?
So I knew absolutely nothing about this at all. As far as I was concerned, it was a normal health pregnancy. I didn't have any symptoms or anything like out of the ordinary. So really this just came out of nowhere. And then after it happened, that's when I started to educate myself and learn more about it. But yeah, I had never heard of it before.
Got you. So I want to pause here to just give folks some background on this Awareness Month. Because I, was just doing some poking around and even trying to understand how this came about. And it was actually a grieving mom who started the movement, Robin Bear. She had 6 miscarriages, realized her support system could not fully understand her loss. And so she teamed up with 2 other women to get proclamation signs supporting a day of remembrance for babies who have passed and their grieving parents. And then that action turned into a political movement. And so that's how everyone, that's somewhat of how we have this Awareness Month and why it's so important. But speaking of the sensitivities, Jo, when you were going through your first pregnancy and after the 2 hours that Bryant lived, what was it like on the family's part, on your part, to try to navigate life after that?
Honestly, it was just like a void and the feeling of emptiness and people trying to be there for you but not knowing really what to say or what to do. I remember when we had a memorial service for Bryant, one of my family members said, well, I'm sorry this happened, but everything happened for a reason. And that I know that it came from a place of love, but at the time, and not just even with this situation, but I think when you lose anybody, that's the last thing that you want to hear,
Yeah.
yeah, things do happen for a reason, but like, why did this have to happen to me, or this did not have to happen to me? You know.
Yeah.
So I think I lived in a space of why me for a long time. Actually, I think I went through a period of like denial, and then wanting to not necessarily replace Bryant, but to get pregnant again is just because I feel like almost like it was snatched away from me. So like the whole just trying to process everything, learning how to grieve properly, being around people that wanted to be there for you and wanted to help you, but weren't necessarily saying the right things. It was just a really difficult and dark place in my life. What helped me is that I did start going to therapy, and I actually went to group therapy, and the therapy was for moms who had either had an infant loss or pregnancy loss, and through that and just having that support system. And sometimes we wouldn't even say anything to each other, just being in the same room and crying or writing things down or giving each other a hug. Like, it helps to be in this space where people knew exactly how you felt and what you were going through.
Yeah.
So I was really grateful for that experience, because I don't think that would be where I am today had I not gone through that and had that type of support.
And how did you find out about the group therapy? Was that like something that the hospital told you about? Did you do your own independent research? I mean, how were you able to find a group therapy situation?
So basically when it happened, the hospital had like a group for moms who had experienced this, and they met once a week. So I actually went to the meetings twice, and on the first meeting, I met another young lady who had actually had a full-term pregnancy. So she had went the whole 9 months, and then her daughter was born stillborn. And, you know, we just started talking and exchanging stories, and we both agreed that, like, you know, this is a great space to be in, but it's kind of really just a sad space to be in, because in the group that I was in, it really wasn't necessarily any healing. It was just basically us repeating our stories week after week after week. You know, after a while, that gets kind of like depressing, because like, damn, like I'm just stuck in this space, you know?
It's almost like re-traumatizing.
Right, exactly. So then just speaking with her, she told me about another organization through Baltimore City, and it had helped her, and it was very helpful for her. And she said through this program, they actually like journaled, had group therapy sessions, had different people to come and speak, as far as like doctors, pastors, like people from all different types of walks of life. And I was like, well, you know, this is something that, you know, I think would help me help me through my healing process. So I went to a meeting with her, and it actually did. It helped me a lot. And it was an ongoing thing. I actually went to this program. I believe it lasted like maybe 8 to 9 weeks. And then we took a break, and then I actually became pregnant with my son, who is now 3, and continued the program, like did like the part 2 or whatever. So it really helped me a lot.
Yeah.
My pregnancy. Yeah.
There's something you mentioned a little earlier about grieving properly. What does that mean for those of us who may not know the difference between like grieving properly and improperly?
Well, I don't want to say that there's like a right or wrong way to grieve, because I think, you know, everyone goes through the things that they go through the way that they have to go through it. But I think just being able to face it and acknowledge that it's there is important. Not necessarily self-medicating through alcohol or drugs or sex or whatever it is. I don't think that's necessarily the best way to grieve.
Not like the healthiest way.
The healthiest way, yeah. But just like acknowledging that it's there and allowing yourself to be in that space and not feel bad about it.
Yeah.
I guess is the right word.
So when did you realize that you were starting to get to a more healed, more empowered place?
Well, honestly, what helped me was just being transparent and sharing my story, as you mentioned earlier. I think by just like, I actually started talking about it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Originally. And just talking about my experience and about my son, and posting pictures from the hospital and posting pictures from when I was pregnant. And just by me sharing my story, I realized that it's so many other moms who have had similar experiences but just didn't have the courage to speak about them, or wasn't even in the space to about them. It's just by me sharing my story, I gained more support, and I was able to support them as well. So that actually helped me in my grieving process just by talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, loves, if you're just tuning in, I'm chatting with Jo Conyer. She's graciously joined us to share her story of infant loss, but of course, also personal empowerment. Her first pregnancy was compromised at 5 months. She went into labor early, delivered a baby boy named Bryant, who then passed away 2 hours later. And she went on to have 2 pregnancies after that were extremely high risk. And so one thing that I've witnessed in Jo over the years is just how much of an advocate, how much of a voice she's become for mothers who have experienced pregnancy and infant loss. And so, Jo, you were speaking a bit about or leading up to your second pregnancy and how that happened, or at least where you were at in your life at that point. You were at the second program, which sounds like at least it was a little bit more empowering, a little more focused and intentional healing with it, guided healing with it. So what was your reaction? Like, what was you and Bay's reaction to we're pregnant again?
Honestly, scared and cautious. So, obviously I was happy to be pregnant again, but just because of all the trauma I went through with my first pregnancy, I was almost scared to get too comfortable with the pregnancy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, like, for the first 6 months, it was kind of sort of like I'm holding my breath. I'm not saying anything. I don't want to get too happy. I don't want to get too comfortable, because I feel like once I got to that stage, then something bad would happen. So that was kind of tough. I think with my son, I didn't even announce that I was pregnant until I hit that 6-month mark. I wanted to get past where I was when I was pregnant with Bryant. And once I passed that, that was almost like a milestone for me. Like, okay, so we made it past that. Now let's go to the next step. Now I feel comfortable with announcing it, officially to family and friends and everything. So that was kind of tough, because it was like I was happy to be pregnant, but at the same time I didn't necessarily felt that I could enjoy it fully.
Yeah.
Just because I was just so, like, cautious and, like, almost like waiting for something to happen. So definitely a lot of different emotions with that.
Yeah, and so one of the things that sent you into early labor with Bryant was what you said, the cervical insufficiency. What role, if at all, if any, did that play in your second pregnancy?
So with Bryant, I didn't know that I had it. So when I got pregnant with my son, Michael, who we call Bub, when I got pregnant with him, we were very proactive about me having it. So at 13 weeks, I actually had to get my cervix stitched up. And by doing that, it basically held them in there.
Wait, you got I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. You got your cervix?
I had to get it stitched up, like stitched closed, so that I would not go into early labor. It's called a cerclage.
Okay.
And basically what they do is they put 2 stitches at the opening of your cervix. Because the issue that I had with Bryant was that my cervix opened too early.
Okay.
So in order to avoid that happening with Bub, they put the 2 stitches in there when I was 13 weeks pregnant, and they actually kept them in there until I was 37 weeks pregnant. And then at 37 weeks, they felt like if I were to go into labor, it would be, like, safe enough for me to have the baby. So then they removed the stitches at 37 weeks.
Okay. And then, so what... Was it high? Was that pregnancy high risk because of the cervical insufficiency, or were there other factors that kind of played a part in the high risk?
So the cervical insufficiency was a big factor in the high risk pregnancy. Also with Bub, I carried a lot of fluid in my stomach. So, like, at 5 months pregnant, I looked 8 months pregnant. Like, I was really big. And the doctors were actually concerned about that being too much fluid, because a lot of times when there's too much fluid in your belly, sometimes the baby can actually swallow it and get sick. So that was something that they were concerned about. And then with that pregnancy, like, so leading up to it, I ended up having to get a C-section. because he was too big. He was almost not balanced when he was born. And they were afraid that because I have a petite frame, if I went into labor vaginally, there was a chance that the shoulder could break or something could happen. So they were like, we're just going to schedule a C-section. And then once they scheduled the C-section, everything was okay until the second day when we decided to get him circumcised, and he wouldn't stop bleeding, and then he had a seizure.
Oh, my gosh.
So now it's like, it was kind of like a moment where I was just happy, like, yes, I made it to the first C. We're here. It was a long road, but then it's like once I had faith and something else happened.
So let's pause there.
Yeah.
I want to pause there because we got to take a quick break.
Okay.
But when we come back on the other side, like I totally just, my whole heart was like, oh wait, no, what's going on? So when we come back on the other side, let's talk about what was going on with Michael. Right, okay. when you're going to get this circumcision and he won't stop bleeding, and I'm guessing we're trying to figure out what's going on. So loves, listen, stay tuned. It's Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, and I'm chatting with Jo Conyers, who is just graciously sharing her story of infant loss and just how she overcame one of the darkest periods of her life and has now used that to help empower and advocate for other mothers who have experienced pregnancy and infant loss. So shout out to all of the mothers out there and the rainbow babies. We're going to take this break. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. We'll be back after these messages.
The Shamari Show. Fridays 1 p.m. till 4 p.m. on Word Radio. And streaming live on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
Word family, this is Sarah Lomax Reese, President and CEO of Word Radio. Join me on Friday, November 1st from 5:30 to 7 p.m. for the next installment of the Walter P. Lomax Jr. MD Speaker Series, Struggle and Progress, a conversation on Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman. I'm excited to interview two of the leading scholars on Douglass and Tubman, Dr. C. James Trotman, founding director of the Frederick Douglass Institute, and Dr. Erica Armstrong Dunbar, author of She Came to Slay, The Life and Times of Harriet Tubman. This powerful discussion will be held at the Barnes Foundation as part of their First Friday festivities and will precede the premiere of Ruth Naomi Floyd's Frederick Douglass Jazz Works, a suite of music created to honor the legacy of the famed activist and abolitionist. You do not want to miss this amazing event, which happens to fall on the same day as the release of the new Harriet Tubman movie. Space is limited. For ticket information, go to wordradio.com or call 215-425-7875.
In partnership with the Barnes Foundation, sponsored by Pico and Comcast NBC 10. Listen live at wordradio.com.
Join me, Aisha Shahida Simmons, in Love with Accountability for a forum to disrupt sexual violence against women and children. From No to Love celebrates 25th anniversary of No, the Rape documentary, and 2019 release of the Love with Accountability anthology. Screening October 31st at the Lightbox Film Center. Conference and book launch November 1st at the Annenberg School for Communication and the African American Museum of Philadelphia. Get your tickets at lovewithaccountability.com.
Word family, you are not alone.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Word Radio wants you to know that those who suffer from this disease,
their families,
and friends
are not alone.
Word Radio encourages everyone to fight.
That's why we're launching Fight Forward, an awareness campaign aimed at bringing attention to early detection,
support groups,
prevention,
and treatment of breast cancer.
This month, we're shining a light on those in the fight.
Plus, all month long, when you start or renew your Forward membership, you'll get a very special pink Fight Forward t-shirt.
Keep the conversation going with the hashtag #FightForward.
And share inspirational messages, stories, and words of encouragement.
Make a difference.
Together.
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 Together. Let's fight forward.
For more information or to start or renew your Forward membership, call 215-425-7875.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at Forward. Word TV. Black Talk Media. The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on Word Radio.
Trying to recover. Our love was good until I had to discover that you went away, and now he's your lover. But girl, I need you. Girl, I need you. I got to have you in my arms. Hey, girl, I love you. I got to have all of your sweet charms. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Would you believe? Hey, girl, you're so fine. My time is your time. Though you're no good for me, I want you by my side. Oh, for your love, I'd forget my pride. Turn my back on my friends and listen to what they say. I got to have your love any old way. Hey, girl, I need you. I got to have you in my arms. Hey, girl, I love you. I got to have all of your sweet songs. Yeah, yeah. Can't live without you. Would you believe all of everything about you? I'm a fool, I must admit. 'Cause your sweet love, I just can't forget. I can't explain what you do to me. All I know is that I just can't let you be. I'm only trying to deny it. Trying to get you. 'Cause my heart just won't let me buy it. Girl, I need you.
That's the Artistics with Girl, I Need You. That was a request from Mo out of North Philly. Shout out to Mo. Loves Your Back in the Lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. It's Throwback Thursday worldwide, so if you have a throwback jam that you want to put in a request for, call in. They've been calling in too, just so y'all know. And the slots are getting filled up. I'll say we maybe got one more slot available, and that would be one that I would switch out. I'd be willing to switch out, for a special someone who has has a request that they just got to hear for Throwback Thursday. So if you have a song that you want to hear, call the hotline, 215-634-8065. Again, 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free, 866-361-0900. Again, 866-361-0900. October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, and I have been chatting with Jo Conyers, a young woman graciously joining us in the lounge to share her story of infant loss. And so, Jo, kind of picking back up this story, your life story, you were telling us about Bub, right? Your second son, who you went full term with. You give birth via C-section. 2 days later, you all go to have him circumcised, and there's an issue. So let's pick up there and learn more about what's going on with Bub.
And to have him circumcised, and when they did it, he just would not stop bleeding. And it was a steady, it wasn't like, usually there's like a little light bleed, but this was like a steady, heavy type of deal, to the point where it was like soiling and filling up his diapers. So they decided to admit him into the NICU, and they monitored him for 24 hours. And within that 24-hour period, he ended up having a seizure. So they took him to the emergency room at Johns Hopkins Children's Hospital, which is like a world-renowned hospital in Baltimore. And it was there where he was diagnosed with hemophilia. And basically what hemophilia is a bleeding disorder, and his blood does not clot naturally. So if he ever gets like an internal bleed or an external bleed, unless he's treated with factor, he can pretty much just bleed out. So
Gotcha.
yeah, so that was intense because I had no idea I was a carrier. And again, I just feel like with each situation with Brian, I didn't know that I had the cervical thing going on with Bub. I didn't know the hemophilia, so everything just kind of hit me out of nowhere.
Yeah. And like with the hemophilia, and I don't know how that works. Is that a genetic thing? Like what factors into that?
So it actually is genetic, and only the mother can pass it down to the son. So the sons can't get it from their dads, and daughters can't be diagnosed with it. They can only be carriers. So I was a carrier. I only knew one other person that had it. My first cousin has it, but he lives in Georgia. So we didn't necessarily, like, grow up together.
Yeah.
I didn't have, like, a first-hand experience of what it was. So it basically was something that was, like, brand new to me, and I had to learn about as it happened.
Wow. And so how that the pregnancies from Bryant to Bub, they occurred in what kind of time frame?
Pretty close. So with Bryant, he was born in March 2015, and then I ended up getting pregnant with Bub in October of that year.
Okay.
So yeah.
So in such a short period of time, and you're what age at that point?
I was 28 when I had Bub. So I was 27 with Bryant. He actually passed a week before my 27th birthday.
Oh, wow.
A week before my 28th birthday, I'm sorry. That was 28 when I had Bub. Yeah.
So a lot in a really short period of time. To say the least. After you learn about Bub's diagnosis, what's your thoughts? What's going through your mind at that point, and how you're moving forward?
Honestly, just like genuine concern and a little bit of terror, because I had just started to, heal myself from losing Brian and deal with that situation. And I was terrified that something was going to happen to my new baby. So my anxiety was just like on 100. And it's something I still deal with daily. Like, I have really bad anxiety, and I think it's just like tripled since I've had children. So, yeah.
Understandably so, because there's just the general anxiety that, your kids will give you. And then, having gone through different challenges and overcoming adversity like that, I can see how that would just compound it.
Yes, definitely.
In the midst of all of this, you have your partner, right?
Yeah.
And you all actually end up getting married and all that good stuff. But what was this like for you two going through each of these pregnancies together?
Challenging, really challenging. I think we learned a lot about each other. One of my biggest lessons was just realizing that everyone is not going to grieve the same as you or the way that you want them to. So when I was going through all of this with Brian, like, I'm just a very transparent person. If I'm sad, if I'm happy, if I'm depressed, I'm going to talk about it. That's how I deal with it. Whereas my husband is a lot more reserved and keeps things to himself and doesn't really express his emotions as, outwardly as I do. Not to say that that's wrong, but just the way he dealt with it, I almost felt like he wasn't dealing with it the proper way. So that was like a lesson that I had to learn, because I'm just like, I had to take a look at myself, like, wait, who are you to tell someone how they're supposed to deal with something? Like, he lost his son just like you did, and just because he's not crying about it or, writing poems about it or blogs, whatever, doesn't mean that he's not dealing with it. So that was like a huge lesson that I had to learn, to just, accept him for who he is. And if you ever hang out with us, you will see that I am the mouth of the relationship. He's just kind of like real laid back and chill. Like whatever my wife says, okay, let's go with that. So
you just kind of balance each other out. Got you.
For the both of us.
Got you. So in between Bub and then your daughter being born, you all get married, right? That if I have the timeline right.
Yes, it's a lot happened in the 3 years.
I was about to say this is like 3 years, I think.
Like back to back to back.
Yeah. Have you come up for air yet? Have you had a chance to breathe?
I was just talking to my coworker today. Like I feel like I've been pregnant since 2015. Like I just need to be left alone.
It's like just my body. I just need my body. Yeah, but no, it's a lot. A lot of life events happening in a short period of time. Some extremely tragic and traumatic, and then it's some just absolutely, I would imagine, exciting and amazing. The marriage and all of that. So where did your third pregnancy come into play?
So that actually caught me by surprise. On honeymoon, things happen.
Oh, love.
And yeah, I got pregnant with Joey, and even with that pregnancy, like I was still very, it was a high-risk pregnancy. I had to get the cerclage, the same that I had to do with Bub. And also with her, I had to get the weekly progesterone shot because my body wasn't producing it naturally. So literally once a week from the time I was 12 weeks all the way up until I gave birth, I was getting shots in my hip every week from an at-home nurse just to, like, keep me pregnant, pretty much.
I was about to say, for those of us who don't know anything about progesterone, like, why is that important? What does it do?
So basically, with a normal pregnancy, your body should produce that naturally. And for whatever reason, my body just did not produce it. And what it does is it basically keeps your hormones up so that your body doesn't trick yourself into going into early labor or thinking that it's time to have the baby.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So that's something that, in addition to me getting the cerclage, they wanted for me to get that as well, just to be like extra safe. And then she still was born 3 weeks early. So
she said, "I'm going to come when I want to come."
yeah.
And because
ended up having to come early.
And now this progesterone, like, this isn't just a boop, and then you keep it moving. Like, this is a 2-inch needle.
This is a 2-inch needle going in either your hip or your butt once a week. And at the time, I was still working, so it was like the nurse would come to my house at 8 o'clock in the morning. I would get the shot and had to be to work by 9 o'clock. In addition to this, I'm raising a 2-year-old. I'm in a new marriage. I'm tired. I got morning sickness. So, to say the least, my last pregnancy with my daughter will be my last pregnancy.
That question was coming eventually. Like, so where is your radar at right now in terms of more kids? Is that a yay or a nay on this one?
My husband just got a dog, actually, for my son in February, so I feel like we're good now. Like, that's my third child, the dog.
Gotcha.
We're good.
And they are whole kids, just about.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, Lord, ain't they kids? No, but so I don't know. I mean, like, when you look back on the past 3 years of your life, how have you gotten to a point now where it sounds like you've found some joy in life, right? You've experienced some healing in life. I mean, when you look back at these past 3 years, like, what goes through your head?
Why am I not in a crazy house somewhere? Like, it's just, it's been a lot. And a lot of times I feel like even as women, like, we put on this persona where we just have to be strong. Or we're so focused on making sure that our kids are good and making sure that our partner is good and making sure we're good at our job that we don't just take a step back and look at ourselves. And that's something that I'm actually working on because I feel like a lot of times I don't give myself enough credit. Like, I'm really hard on myself, So just taking the time to take a step back and say, Joe, you've been through a lot physically, emotionally, mentally within a very short period of time, and give yourself credit for as far as you have come. You may not want to be where you may not be where you want to be at, but you're damn sure
On your way.
You were 3 years ago. So
Yeah.
I definitely have these challenges. I have, every day I have still struggled with my anxiety, which is a big thing for me, and just the general mom guilt and making sure like I'm being present in my children's life and being a good wife in a new marriage. So it is a lot, but I am very grateful that I went through every experience that I went through because I feel like it made me wiser and stronger to be the type of woman that I am today. So,
yeah. And I mean, what if any words of support or wisdom might you offer to women who either are or have experienced pregnancy or infant loss?
I guess the only words of support that I have is just two things. First, be your own advocate. With Bryant, the whole entire reason that I found out about this was because when I was pregnant, I was still living with my mom at the time, and I was just having cramps. I came home from work and was cramping, and I thought this was my first pregnancy, so I really didn't take it as serious. I thought maybe this was just a symptom. And my mom was like, well, let's just go to the hospital just to check and make sure everything's okay. And when we got there, we just went to like the general emergency room, and they had me waiting for 3 hours. Like, they didn't take me back to the labor and delivery wing or anything like that. And it wasn't until my mom spoke out, like, no, she's pregnant. This may be serious. You need to take us to labor and delivery. And that's when the ball kind of got rolling. So I really feel like with Brian, I wish that I would have spoken up more and spoken up sooner and just advocated for myself more. So if you ever, I don't care if it's your first pregnancy or your fifth pregnancy, if you feel like anything is off or you feel you're just not feeling like yourself, speak out for yourself and, be your own advocate for sure.
Yeah.
And also don't be so hard on yourself.
Gotcha.
You're human. Yeah.
That's actually a conversation that we've had here in the lounge before in regard to Black women, going through the maternal process and having to deal with the hospital, like with the health system, and how we are treated, sometimes not listened to or believed, and just that importance of self-advocacy. And I've shared in the past my own experience with my eldest daughter and like really having to speak up because I, noticed her heart rate dropped every time I had contractions, and the nurse just continuously said, no, you're fine, you're fine. I'm like, no, sis, something's not okay. So, just hearing you speak to the importance of self-advocacy and, just feeling confident, whether it's the first pregnancy or not, to speak up and say something. Yes. Well, listen, thank you so much, Joe, for joining us and sharing a bit of your story. At the end of, all our chats, we like to do shameless plugs. So, I mean, if there's anything that you want people to follow you, find you at, or any resources that you think could be helpful, feel free to share that.
Sure. So my social media is Jobeanc, Jobeanc. I'm on Instagram. I'm not really on Twitter. I can be found on Facebook under Joe Conyers. Basically, my entire page is just my children. Like seeing cute kids, definitely follow me. I also have a blog called Moms Like Her. And with this blog, I just talk about my experience as a mom, as a new mom, as a boy mom. I actually stopped blogging when I was pregnant with my daughter just because it was such a tough pregnancy, but I want to get back into that. So I am going to be relaunching that soon. And yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much it.
All right, hon. Well, again, thank you for joining us and just sending all the love and light to you and the family. And, looking forward to welcome you back one day.
Thank you so much for having me. Your show is amazing. I'm very proud of you. Thank you.
Thanks, babe. All right, y'all. We got to get ready to pay these bills. So stay where you're at. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita, and we'll be right back.
Get your money straight. Get my money right. With Solomon Jones and Akbar Hassan. Fridays on Wake Up with Word. 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. Hosted by Solomon Jones. Exclusively on Word Radio. 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live on wordradio.com and on the Word Radio app.
Listen to Laborers Live.
We created the weekend. We created the 40-hour work week. We just want enough to feed our family, be able to send our children to college, and let our next generation do better than we did.
To people that might have forgot how important unionism is in a country like the United States. People now infringing on our 8-hour workday, trying to work people more than 8 hours without overtime, trying to work people without benefits. In the long run, everybody's getting a fat paycheck except the worker. So this is really a wake-up call for America.
The struggle is continuous. Tune in to Laborers Live every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. Sponsored by LESIT, the Laborers Employers Cooperation Education Trust of the Laborers District Council of Philadelphia and vicinity.
Local 332, Sam Staten Jr. Business Manager. Local 57, Esteban Vera Business Manager. Local 135, Dan Woodall Jr. Business Manager. Local 413, James Harper Jr. Business Manager. The Laborers District Council, Ryan Boyer Business Manager, and Tony Staten, Executive Director of LESIT.
Support independent black media and join the 4Word movement now at 215-425-7875 or visit wordradio.com.
Hello, I'm Jose Hernandez, and I have been using a wheelchair since my accident in 1995. I guess if I had one message for the general public, it would be that I appreciate your help. But please, ask first. I know you mean well, but I've actually got everything under control. And if I don't, I'll ask for assistance. People with disabilities just want the same respect and consideration as everyone else.
This is a message from United Spinal Association. Download our disability etiquette booklet at unitedspinal.org.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at 4Word. Word TV. Black Talk Media.
Hey everybody, we're Kindred, the Family Soul, and you're listening to The Lounge on 900 AM
and 96.1 FM
WURD.
Over my
Well, I'm gonna have to just go ahead and call this boy. Hello? Can I speak to Michael? Oh, hey, how you doing? I feel kind of silly doing this, but this is the waitress from the coffee house on 39th and Lenox. You know, the one with the braids? Yeah. Well, I see you on Wednesdays all the time. You come in every Wednesday on your lunch break, I think. And you always order the special with the hot chocolate. And my manager be tripping and stuff, talking about we gotta use water, but I always use some milk and cream for you, cause I think you're kinda sweet. Anyway, you always got on some fly blue suit, and your cufflinks is shining all bright. So what'd you do? A word? Yeah, that's interesting. Look, man, I mean, I don't want to waste your time, but I know girls don't usually do this. But I was wondering if maybe we could get together outside the restaurant one day. You know, because I do look a lot different outside my work clothes. And I mean, we could just go across the street to the park right here. Wait, hold up. My cell phone breaking up. Hold up. Can you hear me now? Yeah. So what day did you say? Oh, yeah. Thursday's perfect, man. That's Alicia Keys with You Don't Know My Name. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM Throwback Thursday. Shout out to all the folks who called in and got the request in. We are completely full on music for tonight, so just stay tuned. If you know you called in and your request got through, your song is coming. FYI, Alicia Keys was on Red Table Talk this week. It was a really good episode. Instead of a red table, they had a red piano, and she did some playing and stuff. And her and Willow actually came up with a song for Red Table Talk. I wonder if they're going to use it as the theme song. It would be really dope if they did. Actually, I enjoyed the song. They were singing. They got both of them together have beautiful voices. But so yeah, you might want to check that out on Facebook. Also, while you're over on Facebook, make sure you like at @4word at the Lounge Word. We're live on Word TV right now, so you can see me. Shout out to everyone. I don't know which camera I'm in. This one. Hey, y'all. Hey. Yeah, if you're more of a visual person and you care to see me talking, that's one way that you can do that, okay? If you missed the question of the day, you are more than welcome to chime in on it. The question is, in your opinion, is it acceptable for a woman to hold the door open for a man? Like in any circumstance, is it acceptable for a woman to hold open a door for a man? Feel free to call in to chime in, 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free, 866-361-0900. And I shared a bit earlier how I was at Wawa and, this guy had his hands full. I opened the door, held the door for him. And another guy ended up coming up to me later and was like, you shouldn't have done that. Why would you do that? You're a lady. He should have did that for you. He could have moved the stuff around in his hands and yada, yada, yada. And I just, had to hit him with the blank stare and, you're the one that had this problem with it, not me. It was polite, but it was just like, sir, stop. Patricia over on our live said he just wanted to talk to you. Game, Sarita. Frosty said he thinks that's what it was too. But listen, that was a fail. if that was the case, that was a fail. Let's see who else gave us feedback. Shout out to the social media fam. Nicole, she said, I do it for anyone who's directly in front of or behind me. It is practicing good manners. You were raised right while others were raised in a zoo. Look, I don't know where they was raised at, but I know my mom definitely, didn't play about the manners and all of that stuff. So, yes, I do. I'm the same. If someone's directly in front of or behind me, I'm holding that door open. I don't know. I just feel like that's the polite thing to do. Kelly, she said, yes, it is. It's ridiculous to think that you shouldn't have. Anything that makes another person's life easier while not making yours any harder should be done, in my opinion. And then over on the key part, what she said was making another person's life easier while not making yours any harder. That's a word for some of us. Over on Instagram, Julia Daniela said, there is nothing wrong with doing it. It's a kind gesture. King Scott SMD said, if she gets to the door first, why not? Queen LaShonda said that I think her thing was that a woman shouldn't hold the door. And she said, why? Because the man should be holding the door open for her. That's what a real man does. So as somebody with a different opinion on that one, Drew Biz, he said it's called decency. He felt like, yes, it's perfectly fine. It's called decency. So, I had put a little poll out there on Facebook, and 73% of folks said yes. It's acceptable for a woman to hold a door open for a man. 27% said no, it's not. Women should not be doing that. So. There's a percentage of folks out there who still feel or, who believe that a lady should not be holding a door. I don't know. That is what it is. I can tell you I'm not just that one. For me, it's more about manners, about politeness. But we have a caller. Let's go to Brother O'Kang out of Northeast Philly. Hey, Brother O'Kang. Welcome to the lounge.
Hotep. Many blessings and peace.
Same to you.
Hotep to you and yours and to the URD family and to your listening audience. Yes, my concern is, or my opinion is, that it's all well and good. It's fine for a woman to hold the door for a man. Just like I was in the bank the other day, and I was the first to go out the door, but a woman with a cane was right behind me. So what I did, I let her go first with her daughter.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it sounds like for a lot of us, it's just about, politeness, or if not that, then just the line that you fall in, like who's in front of you, who's behind you kind of thing. Because I will not lie. There's been instances where the person in front of me did not hold the door. And I'm not going to lie. I felt a little type of way about it because the door, swung back towards me, almost hit me. And it was like, man, you could, Like, that's the kind of society I would hope that we live in. Whoever's coming through the door, the next person is holding it for them, making sure we all get out, we all good. This is not to say that I don't enjoy when a gentleman opens the door for me. I love that. Thank you. I appreciate you. That's so kind of you. But it comes down to manners. It comes down to, just a matter of politeness in general across the board for me. That is like my baseline. Anything other than that is just like, oh, okay, cool. Or, oh, wow, that was rude. You know what I mean? Like, that's the baseline, the middle ground for me. Anywho. I'm going to get ready to take a quick break and pay some bills. But when we come back on the other side, I'm going to be speaking with a mother-daughter duo who together are taking on the fight against breast cancer. Miss Marilyn Wilson and her daughter Kiana Lawson are joining me in studio to share Miss Marilyn's journey and Kiana just being her biggest supporter and advocate. So if you're tuned in to Word TV, you're about to see these amazing women joining me in studio. If you're listening via 96.1 FM, 900 AM or wordradio.com, just get ready. Miss Marilyn says she's a little nervous. I'm trying to tell her, y'all. I'm like, no, we cool. It's just a convo. We just chilling in the lounge, having a good time. So we're going to make her feel welcomed and get all the jitters out and all that good stuff. But stay tuned. You're in the lounge, WURD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. We'll be back after these messages.
Brothers and sisters,
Don't miss The Source. Weekdays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Word Radio, WordRadio.com, and the Word Radio app. Tune in every Saturday at 6 p.m. to Recovery Talk 101 with your host, Rick Ford, talking about addiction, treatment, and recovery. Right here on Word Radio.
Hi, everybody. This is Nick inviting you to buy your next car from Jerry and the fellows over at Cardex. See, they're not dealers. They're like a car concierge service. They design a car around you. Almost any make. If it's not on the lot, they'll go out and get it for you. So use my car concierge, where I've already bought 4 cars. Cardex at 116 East Glenside Avenue in Glenside, Pennsylvania. Check them out online at cardexinc.com or call Cardex at 215-886-3230.
Wincoat Wellness is changing the way the world ages by redefining home care. Wincoat Wellness makes it possible to achieve independent living through companion care. If you or someone you know has a loved one who is in need of home care services, the enrollment process is seamless. Give them a call at 215-277-5914 to begin enrollment with their dedicated team or home care associates, and before you know it, you'll be receiving care. Call now, 215-277-5914.
I would like to play a little tune I just composed not so long ago.
Hey family, do you like hearing the best jazz selections aired by 3 of the best jazz announcers in Philadelphia? Well, tune in to 96.1 FM,
96.1 FM,
and 900 AM, WURD Radio, independent black media for Freedom Sounds of Jazz.
Freedom Sounds of Jazz.
Hear Freedom Sounds of Jazz 10 p.m. Fridays with your hosts in rotation, Aquila, Jonathan Bay, and David Fritz. That's 10 p.m. Friday nights on WURD 96.1 FM and 900 AM independent black media.
Now, with more clarity, this is Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia. Streaming live at wordradio.com. Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at Forward. Word TV. Black Talk Media. The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on Word Radio.
When I became of age, my mother called me to her side. She said, son, you're growing up now. Pretty soon you'll take a bride. And then she said, just because you become a young man now, there's still some things that you don't understand now. Before you ask some girl for a hand now, keep your freedom for as long as you can now. My mama told me, you better shop around. Oh yeah, you better shop around. There's some things that I want you to know now. I tell the shivers, the wind's gonna blow now. The women come and shop around. Don't let the first one get you. Oh no, 'cause I don't wanna see you with you. Before you let 'em hold you tight. Yeah, make sure she's alright. Before you let 'em take your hand, my son. Understand, my son. Be a man, my son. I know you can, my son.
And we're back in the Lounge Loves on WURD Radio 96.1 FM, 900 AM. That was Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Better Shop Around, a caller request. So shout out to that caller. It is Throwback Thursday. Shout out to everyone who got their Throwback Thursday request, and we have reached capacity, so we are rocking out from here. It's also Healthy Thursday. You know, we like to chat health and wellness. Not too long ago, we wrapped up a conversation with Jo Conyers, who shared her story of infant loss. Her first pregnancy was compromised at 5 months when she went into early labor and delivered a baby boy named Bryant, who passed away 2 hours later. And then her next two pregnancies were extremely high risk. But Jo is now a wife, a mother of three. She's also a dog mommy. She mentioned they just got a new dog. But she's also an advocate for mothers who have experienced pregnancy and infant loss. October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. It is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and it is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so, with that being said, I have the pleasure of welcoming my final guest of the evening onto the show, Miss Marilyn Wilson and her daughter, Kiana Lawson. Miss Marilyn is battling breast cancer, kicking its butt, okay? And her daughter, Kiana, has become her biggest advocate and supporter. So, ladies, welcome to the lounge.
Hi, how are you?
Miss Marilyn, I told him I'm good. Thank you for asking. But Miss Marilyn, I told him you was a little nervous.
Yes, I am. But I'll be okay.
Yes, you will. I told her, I was like, we chill in the lounge. We just it's like having a conversation, just sitting next to somebody chilling. That's it. So why don't you each let us know a little bit about who you are, what you do.
Hello there. My name is Marilyn Wilson, and I'm glad to be on the show to tell my story. I work at a law firm. I have 2 children, 3 grandchildren, and I'm doing this fight for breast cancer.
All right.
Hi, my name is Kiana. I actually work in the medical field. I'm a medical assistant. I've been a medical assistant for 10 years, and I have a passion for helping people in need, and, I support my mom.
All right. So it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we got put on to your story, right? What you just battling breast cancer, and we want to learn more about your journey. We wanted to make sure that we were intentional about creating space on the show to really honor the stories of those who are in the fight. So, Miss Marilyn, I kind of want to start with your story. I mean, tell us a bit about breast cancer and how it came into your life.
Okay, breast cancer, it came into my life. I was diagnosed with breast cancer, stage 3, 2017. I didn't think anything of it. When I first noticed I had breast cancer, I had a lump under my arm, and I didn't think anything of it. My whole arm swelled up. My daughter noticed it, Kiana, and I told her, I think a mosquito bit me. And she said, Mom, I think it's more than that. So her and we went to the emergency room, because she wouldn't take no for an answer, because she knew something wasn't right. Went to the emergency room. They did an ultrasound, and we was there all night long, and when it came back, they didn't think anything of it. So when you went to the doctor, she felt the lump. I felt the lump. And she said it was nothing to worry about. My doctor
said it was nothing to worry about.
My doctor told me, not the doctor I have now. My doctor told me that it wasn't anything that I should worry about. But my arms and my hand, I knew something was wrong. So we went to
Chestnut Hill Hospital.
Yes. And that's when I had a mammogram coming up. So they did a mammogram, and my doctor called me, and she said, I think we need to redo your mammogram. Okay, they did the mammogram. They redid the mammogram, and I got the results back at work.
They didn't call you into the office?
No.
They told you over the phone?
Told me over the phone.
And then they told us to come to the Women's Center. They did tell us to come in.
So they told me over the phone. I was at work. I worked for a law firm, Bopey and Koenig, and I didn't know what to do when the doctor called me over the phone and she told me that, you know, it's cancerous. I'm like, cancerous? So I didn't know what to do, so I went to one of my coworkers. Her name is Lillian. So I called her into the conference room. So I said, Lil, the doctor is on the phone, and she said, I have cancer. So I gave her the phone. So she talked to the doctor, you know, and we went to the Women's Center, and that's when I had to do a
biopsy.
A biopsy. I did a biopsy too, and that's when we knew.
Wow. So there's a few different levels of this that I'm processing. You are going to emergency, them doing an ultrasound. It sounds like the ultrasound they didn't see, like whatever they saw, they weren't concerned with. Then your doctor, is this the doctor at the ER or just your primary care?
It was
doctor?
her primary care doctor.
Okay, so then the primary care doctor says, it's nothing, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And so then you all like, that don't sound right, we're going somewhere else.
Yeah, because her arm and her hand was swollen. And I'm like, Mom, you have to go to the emergency room to get further testing.
So about how long was this whole process from when you all first went to the emergency room, you know, concerned, when you first noticed the swelling, to when you actually got the test results back that it was cancerous?
It was probably a week or two.
Yeah.
Because she had a mammogram coming up anyway.
Okay.
I had a mammogram coming up, so that's when we, you know, went and had all that done.
Yeah. So what was this like for you, Kiana? Like, how did you end up finding out? Because she learned at work, which that is also kind of blowing my mind that kind of information was delivered over the phone. I mean, I don't know if that's...
Well, she didn't tell me. She just was like that. She had to go to the doctors to get her results. So my mom must have known, but she didn't really tell me what was going on. So it was a surprise when I went to the doctors and they put us in the conference room and they explained everything. They were saying that she had stage 3. So I just instantly burst out crying. When you just think about cancer, you don't think about people beating it. You just think the worst of it first. So, of course, I was being a support to my mom and trying to be strong, but it was really hard.
I wasn't happy with the doctor because how they told me over the phone.
Yeah.
You know, like, I didn't think that was professional. You know, I felt as though you should have called me in the office or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, to tell me that I had cancer, but you told me over the phone, you know, so I wasn't happy with that doctor. So my coworker found out, you know, she was out on disability, Karen. She was out on disability, so she found out about my cancer. So the next thing I know, she called me and she said, I have a doctor for you at the University of Penn. So she made me an appointment for my oncologist, so I went there and I was happy with them.
Okay.
And I'm still there with them. So
Okay.
I'm happy.
So it definitely sounds like the support system is strong. Like at work, on the family side, you have folks who were like, we gonna get you what you need. For you, Miss Marilyn, I mean, what was it like from the moment you learn that diagnosis to then really starting the journey of fighting cancer, breast cancer?
I knew that I had to fight. And I knew that I had to be strong. And I'm a strong person. I didn't cry. I said, I'm going to beat this. I knew I was going to beat this. And I'm still beating it, you know.
Yeah.
Even though what I'm going through, I feel strong about it. I have so much support, family, friends, co-workers, just people in general, you know. And when, you know, it's like a bond that you have with people that have breast cancer. You know, it's like you're not in this by yourself. You know, it's like it's amazing how many people is going through the same thing that you're going through. You know, and it's I'm like just like you know, I'm going to the breast cancer walk on Sunday. So I'm out there with women. You know, was there last year, and it's not going to be there this year. You know, and I feel like I got so much support. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm just thrilled about that, you know. I'm just
the blessings in it.
The blessing in it, you know. And I'm just happy, you know. And it's not going to get me down. And it haven't gotten me down yet, you know. I just want to just fight and keep on fighting.
Does this run in the family?
Yes.
Okay. Who else?
I had a grandmother that died of breast cancer. My father's mom, she had breast cancer. I have a couple cousins that had breast cancer. I have a sister with breast cancer.
And she got diagnosed, my aunt, she got diagnosed a few months after my mom. So they were going through treatments and everything together.
What was that like to be going through that with your sister?
Other, you know, like you couldn't let me get breast cancer by myself, you know. You had to get breast cancer too. You was jealous, right?
Are you the older sister?
No.
You the youngest?
I'm like the middle child.
The middle. So I mean, I guess if you gotta go through it, you know, is that you go through it with your sister by your side.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's my supporter. We support each other.
Yeah. So for you, Kiana, like knowing that this runs in the family, right, and you're in this fight with your mom, what does this mean for you and your health? Like, how are you?
Well, actually, because it's hereditary in my family, and I had to get a test also, but it was negative for me. I had to get a BRCA gene test.
Okay.
And they took blood work to see, like, was it in my gene, and it wasn't. So that was negative. Yeah.
I'm BRCA too, so it was in my genes.
Okay.
So all my family members, like my siblings, they all had to take tests.
Take tests. Okay.
So everybody came back negative.
Okay. Loves, listen, if you're just tuning in, I'm chatting with Miss Marilyn Wilson and her daughter, Kiana Lawson. Miss Marilyn has been fighting breast cancer, kicking its butt, and her Kiana has been her biggest advocate and supporter. And so Miss Marilyn was just gracious enough to come on and share her journey, share her story. You know, stay tuned because she's going to share her message to those who are either entering or in this fight. And then, of course, Kiana, I also want to hear from you in terms of supporting someone who's in the fight, right, or recovering from the fight. Some folks might need some tips, you know, some guidance on like how to do that. And so it sounds like you have been awesome. You know, awesome support to your mom.
Yes.
So, you know, if we can help pass that along to some other folks, let's do that. Loves, if you want to join the conversation, right, if you have been affected by breast cancer in some way, feel free to call in and join the conversation. 215-634-8065. Again, 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free, 866-361-0900. Again, 866-361-0900. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we do have the Breast Cancer Awareness Walk that's happening this Sunday in Philly. I'm trying to think.
It's in Jersey, Pennsauken.
In Jersey, okay. I know Philly also does theirs, but this is in Jersey, in Pennsauken. If you are free this Sunday, I told you there was a lot going on this weekend, but if you are free this Sunday and you want to walk, you want to join the fight in that way, just know that that's happening. So just to switch gears just a bit, you ladies are wearing pink today,
Yes.
rocking your pink, looking all fabulous. You were actually mentioning, Miss Marilyn, that even at your job for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you all have Wear Pink Day, which is happening October 22nd. And tell us a little bit about that, because I know one thing that we're big on here is also entrepreneurship. Excuse me, entrepreneurship. And I'm thinking about any business owners that might be listening and are trying to figure out ways that they can support breast cancer awareness through their work. Maybe having a day, at their job is something that they can do. So tell us a little bit about how your job, the law firm, is raising awareness around breast cancer.
Okay, on October the 22nd, it's 2019, it's Dress Down and Wear Pink Day. It's like we want to contribute to a cause. And the cause that we're going to contribute to is called Hope Afloat USA. One of my coworkers, she's a big fan of Hope Afloat. So we was trying to find an organization to donate to.
Okay.
So we decided to donate to Hope Afloat USA.
Gotcha.
So that would be this Tuesday, all day long. You wear your pink, you eat whatever pink, whatever. So, and the proceeds will go to Hope Afloat.
Gotcha.
So that's the organization that we decided to send.
Yeah. So Loves, if you have a business, I'm thinking about all those folks out there. You may own a daycare or own some kind of business space or professional services, and you're wondering how you can join the fight, what you can do to help raise awareness. Consider hosting a Wear Pink Day for your employees, right? And you all find an organization, a breast cancer focused organization, to raise funds, at your job. Folks contribute $5 or more. And you all take those funds and you donate it to an organization that is in the fight for breast cancer awareness, right? So something as simple as that, it helps, right? It helps those who are battling breast cancer. It helps those who are, doing that research and trying to figure out what to do on the medical side, on the healthcare side of things. So there's something that we all can do to help raise awareness, and that's one thing, right? That's just an idea.
Yeah.
So look, going to pay some bills. I got to remind you. I said I was going to make sure that I remind you, because we were just talking about Sunday and events that are happening. And this Sunday, we have the onWURD Environmental Justice Summit that's happening from 2 to 5 p.m. at Bartram's Garden. There are going to be lightning talks with leading environmental justice advocates. There's going to be a performance by ill-fated natives. We have an onWURD photo exhibit by Zamani Feelings. It's titled Wasted, and really just explores the trash crisis here in Philly. And then we have our livelihood green sector job resources and a healing drum excuse me, a healing drum circle by Music Over Matter with a special presentation for breast cancer awareness. So if you're interested in joining the conversation about the connection between race, income, and the environment, make sure you're there. You can visit WURDradio.com. You can also call 215-425-7875. Again, 215-425-7875. Okay? All right, we're paying these bills. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. We'll be back after these messages.
Brothers and sisters! Don't miss The Source. Weekdays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Word Radio, WordRadio.com, and the Word Radio app.
We filmed 15 Pennsylvania kids who were all waiting to be adopted and asked what having a family and permanent home would mean to them.
I want a family just to accept me for who I am, to be there just to support me whenever I'm needing it.
To be matched with a family would be amazing. I won't be in a system all the time.
Visit adoptpakids.org to watch the video, meet the kids, and learn how you can become a foster or adoptive parent.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Join the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society's Moonlight Garden Party Feast, Thursday, October 17th from 6:30 p.m. until 10 p.m. at the PHS Pop-Up Beer Garden on South Street. Feast is PHS's fabulous fall fundraiser. Proceeds support the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society's community gardening program, tree care, and public beautification projects throughout the greater Philadelphia region. For more information and to purchase tickets, please go to phsonline.org/PHEAST.
WordRadio.com.
Exit Zero International Jazz Festival will return to Cape May, New Jersey this November, featuring another great season of award-winning jazz music. Among the many performers include stage headliners Manhattan Transfer meets Acapella Sextet Take 6 on Friday, November 8th, The War and Treaty on Saturday, November 9th, and The Messenger Legacy, Art Blakey Centennial Celebration on Sunday, November 10th. You will experience multiple indoor and outdoor stages and other performers, including David Sanborn, Joan Oates, Gerald Veasley, and many more. Visit ExitZeroJazzFestival.com for lineup and ticket information.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at ForWord. Word TV. Black Talk Media. The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on Word Radio.
I know a place. Ain't nobody crying. Ain't nobody worried. Ain't no smiling faces. Sometimes they are lying to the races. Oh, come on now. Come on. Let me take you there. I'll take you there. Let me take you there. I'll take you there. Oh, no. Now I'll take you there. Let me take you there. I'll take you there. Oh, let me take you there. I'll take you there. Oh, yeah. I'll take you there. Let me have me now. I'll take you there. Do it. Piano. Let me hear that guitar coming. Lord have mercy. Let me lead you by the hand and now. I know a place. I'll take you there. Ain't nobody crying. I'll take you there. Ain't no smiling faces. I'll take you sometimes lying to the races. I'll take you there. Come on now, come on. I'll take you there. Help me take you there. I'll take you there. Take my hand now. Come on, baby. I'll take you there. I wanna take you there. I'll take you there. And I wanna take you there. I'll take you there. Wanna take you there. I'll take you there. Wanna take you there. Oh, I'll take you there. You there. I'll take take you there, let me take you there. I'll take you there, amen. I'll take you there, hallelujah. I'll take you there. People keep on asking, where did you...
We're back in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM, 900 AM. I'll take you there. Shout out to Vivian out of South Philly with that request. Throwback Thursday. Y'all been blowing up the lines with your requests this week. We're going to keep that going every week. Every week. Lines all blown up. Frosty like, I guess. Y'all got me working tonight. Anyway, it's Healthy Thursday in the lounge. You know, we chat health and wellness, and October is breast cancer awareness month. And so I'm joined in studio with Miss Marilyn Wilson and her daughter Kiana Lawson. Miss Marilyn has been kicking cancer's butt, and Kiana has just been her biggest advocate and supporter. And so they've been sharing a bit about their journey. And so just for those who may be tuning in, I'll recap it really quickly for you, right? So in 2017, Miss Marilyn was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, went on to have chemo before surgery to reduce the size of the tumor. There were 8 treatments that were done. The last treatment was February of 2018. And then she had her first surgery, March of 2018, a bilateral mastectomy and reconstruction transflap. Okay. And then there was radiation every day for 8 weeks. You were out of work for about 4 months. And then by September 2018, you started having unusual headaches that would not go away, plus abdominal discomfort. And so in October, you went and saw your oncologist, had an MRI of your head and a CAT scan of your abdomen. They end up finding 2 tumors in your brain. One was operable, one was not.
Yes.
And so you had the surgery to remove the operable one, and for the non-operable one, there was a cyber knife used to shrink it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so now she takes daily oral chemo for the abdominal cancer, likely to have to take that for the remainder of your life or until it's, it stops working.
Mm-hmm.
And side effects really just tiredness, and neuropathy in your feet.
That's it.
And you have a scan every 2 months to see if the brain tumor has returned and if there's any cancer in the abdomen. Okay, scans have been clear.
Yes.
So she's fighting, y'all. We were just saying 2018 was a year.
Yes.
It was a year.
Rough year.
So I want to take some calls. If you want to join this conversation, just to those, I know this may be triggering for some folks. So by all means, if this is a bit triggering for you, look, mental health first. Turn it off. Go do something good for yourself. Go get yourself in a positive or a more empowered mindset. Mental health comes first. So if this is triggering for you, this is not something that you have to push through. Take your time with that, okay? But let's go to the phone lines. We have John out of Bensalem. Hey, John, welcome to the lounge.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Marilyn, I'm sure you'll recognize my voice. Marilyn and I worked for years together at Volpe and Koenig. And I'm also a cancer survivor. I had renal cancer before Marilyn was diagnosed. But one thing I'll say about Marilyn is she is an absolute fighter. My wife, Katie, still works there with Marilyn, and we quite often speak about what a fighter she is, that she keeps pushing forward even though she's been dealt a few setbacks, and couldn't be prouder of her. She's a great person.
Thanks, John. That's my ex-boss. He got me in tears. Thank you, John O'Donnell.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
He's
John.
a fighter also.
Yeah.
He fought through his also. He's a fighter. We fight together. He made sure he checked on me when I was going through.
You're absolutely right, Marilyn.
We checked on each other. Yes.
You touched on before is that people that have cancer definitely, fight together for sure and stick together.
Yeah.
So,
all right, John. Well, we're sending you healing love and light.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Of course, of course. Let's go to our
Thanks,
next
John.
call. We have Ann out of North Philly. Hey, Ann, welcome to the lounge.
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Hey.
Good evening, Miss Marilyn. I didn't hear it all until you just now brought us up on everything that had started. And I'm sitting here saying, my God, some of us are never thankful or thank God for anything. You know, we're always complaining. And to hear her story now, you know, and her fight and how her daughter paid attention and just insists, no, Mom, something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then her mother realized something is wrong. So my question was, well, whether you was having mammograms on a regular basis?
Yes, I was due for a mammogram. My mammogram was coming up. This happened before my mammogram.
But you was getting mammograms yearly, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I was getting my mammograms yearly. But I was coming up on my mammogram, and that's when we noticed the lump.
Right before your next
Before my
appointment,
next
your
appointment.
annual appointment.
Yes, my annual appointment. I thought it was a mosquito bite or something like that, you know, because my arms were swelled. So my daughter noticed. I'm sorry.
One of the programs that said the first Black-owned cancer support center. Do you know about that?
No, I don't.
It's in the 3400 block of Richmond Street.
Oh, Cancer Who?
It's the first Black-owned cancer support center.
Yes. Shout out to Al. He actually was on the show. Oh, yeah. I need to connect you with Al.
Right. I heard it on WRD.
Yeah, he was on the show here. Yes, he was. Shout out to Al of Cancer Who. And thank you, Miss Ann, for reminding us. Yeah, I want to see if I can connect you all with Al. He's awesome. But yes, he has a cancer support center in Northeast Philly. And they've just been doing an amazing work. They support families who are battling cancer and just real. I mean, they're in the hospital with folks when they're going through radiation. Al and his team are like sitting there with them. They're like just total support for family and for cancer fighters and their family. So yeah, I definitely have to put you all in touch with them. Let's go to our next caller. We have Carolyn Lynch. Hey, Carolyn. Welcome to the lounge.
Hi, Marilyn.
Hi, Karen. My supporter.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm a good friend of Marilyn's. I work with her at Volpe and Koenig, and let me tell you, she is absolutely fantastic. An inspiration. She is strong. She is unbelievable. Her positive attitude, I think, has made the world of difference in her recovery and just facing everything that she has. You know, she's had her days where we've been in work and we've cried, and we let herself have those days. But then after that, you know, she dusts herself off, she picks herself up, and because of that, that is why I'm telling you, her scans are clear, and she is fabulous.
I just like to add on, Karen, ever since I had breast cancer, she kept up with all my appointments. She do my appointments when I didn't remember. She would let me know, Marilyn, you got an appointment tomorrow. I'm like, really? You know, like, she was one of my biggest supporter. Her and another coworker, Lillian, and all my friends at Volpe and Koenig, everybody was so supportive. Like, I couldn't work for a better company.
But Karen, that's because we love her.
Yeah, I was about to say, Karen, I was curious to know, especially for folks who, you know, who are working on a job with, you know, breast cancer fighters or cancer fighters in general. For you, what was it that kind of spoke to you in terms of Miss Marilyn's fight and wanting to make sure or stepping in to be that kind of support for her?
I'm a survivor, and I know how awful it is. And when you have a dear friend who's going to face that battle and you know what she's going to go through, you're there. And that's what survivors do. That is what every survivor does. You're there for another survivor because there's an unspoken bond. And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for calling in and just for being the amazing human being that you are.
Oh, well, thank you. Now, God gave me people like Marilyn in my life, so I've been truly blessed.
All right.
Thank you, Karen.
See you tomorrow, Marilyn.
Bye.
She's like, see you at work. So scans have been clear. How does that feel?
Amazing. It's like Amazing Race,
Mhm.
I'm just grateful, that I can tell this story. And I'm still here to tell it,
Mhm.
After all what I went through, I can truly say I'm truly blessed.
Yeah. Kiana, for you, what's this been like now on this side of the fight?
Well, now I'm happy and I feel a little more relieved. But when this first happened, I didn't know if I was coming or going. Like I was worried because it's like my mom, like she's just so strong, and just to see everything that she's going through, like I wish that I can take the pain away. Like, but one thing, my mom, she never complained. She's tough as nails, so I rarely see her cry, and I think more so she was just trying to be strong for her children, grandchildren, and everything. But it was hard, but I'm happy. Of course, I'm there to help her fight, and we just going to keep fighting.
I know that's right. Well, I'll tell you what, we have another caller on the line, Mo out of North Philly. Hey, Mo, welcome to the lounge.
Yeah, how you doing?
I am good. How about you?
All right. Yeah, I want to know that y'all ever hear of a technique called radio surgery?
I have not. No.
Yeah, it's a doctor. He's a Harvard-trained doctor. He's up in New York. He's up in New York, and he used this technique. This is what they use on President Carter, because President Carter had brain cancer, like Dick Cheney. But that's not Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney, the one that Congress senator that died not too long ago, and Ted Kennedy. And President Carter had opted to get this radio surgery. And it works with the frequency in your body. And it knocked the cancer out of his brain. And he's like 90 years old now. And the way he tailor-made the treatment of prostate cancer for black men. And there have been women that was sent there that had stage 4 breast cancer and was sent on to die. And he knocked the cancer out their system. Because cancer is not really a death sentence. And some of the stuff that they use should be outlawed. There's another doctor named Dr. Joel Wallet. He's at criticalhealthnews.com. And he tell you one of the problems of all of us as people, no matter what disease you get, we need the 90 essential nutrients and vitamins. Even if you're a vegan, you're not eating from the same soil that your grandparents and great-grandparents ate from. So that play a key role.
Yeah.
And if you can, just look into it. Check it out. It's called radio surgery. And the doctor name is Dr. Lederman.
Okay. Yeah, I got to pull it up now here on Google. So thank you for putting me on. I definitely would love to learn more about it.
Okay. All right. Then y'all have a good evening.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Okay.
You too. All right, loves. We got to take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, we're going to be closing the show out and wrapping up this convo with Miss Marilyn and with Kiana. We'll take a moment to do some closing remarks, I guess, let folks know that message, Miss Marilyn, that you would send to those who are, newly in the fight, or those who are in the thick of it, what message you have for them. And then Kiana, your message for the supporters of those who are in the fight, right? All right, loves. You're in the lounge, WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. We'll be back after these messages.
Don't miss the Electric Magazine Show, hosted by Cody Anderson and Vicki Leach. Saturday mornings from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. Exclusively on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD.
It's the rapping professor. Did you miss me? Well, I'm coming back to the airways, y'all. Every Saturday, starting November 2nd, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. The rapping professor, bringing the truth into context like nobody else. We're going to turn up, and the turn up is 1 p.m. starting November 2nd. That's right, 1 p.m. November 2nd, the return of the rapping professor. You're turning up with word, y'all.
Be heard. Want another way to join the conversation?
Follow us on social media
Using the hashtag onWURD.
Be heard.
Stay connected to Word Radio.
Independent Black Media.
Word family, you are not alone.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Word Radio wants you to know that those who suffer from this disease,
their families,
and friends
are not alone.
Word Radio encourages everyone to fight. That's why we're launching Fight Forward, an awareness campaign aimed at bringing attention to early detection,
support groups,
prevention,
and treatment of breast cancer.
This month, we're shining a light on those in the fight.
Plus, all month long, when you start or renew your Forward membership, you'll get a very special pink Fight Forward t-shirt.
Keep the conversation going with the hashtag FightForward.
And share inspirational messages, stories, and words of encouragement.
Make a difference. Together.
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 Together. Together.
Together, let's fight forward.
For more information or to start or renew your Forward membership, call 215-425-7875.
I ain't no better than you, and you ain't no better than me. But we all have something in common. We all are species, seeds of God's creation.
Tune in to Messages in the Music every Friday night with Joey T, midnight to 6 a.m. right here on WURD.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at ForWord.
Word TV.
Black Talk Media.
The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on Word Radio.
She said, sugar, honey, darling, I really want to see you too. It's just that someone's over, and baby, I really want to be with you. But if by chance you let me just hold you,
That's Confunction Loves Train, another caller request. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita. It's Healthy Thursday. You know, we talk health and wellness, and I have been chatting with Miss Marilyn and Kiana Lawson. That's her daughter. Miss Marilyn has been kicking breast cancer's butt because October, and just FYI, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And Miss Marilyn has been kicking breast cancer's butt, and she's had a whole army behind her in this fight. And Kiana, her daughter, has been by her side and really was instrumental in you all learning that she had breast cancer to begin with. So we got to get ready to get out of here. But Kiana, I want to start with you. You were the one who said, you know, Mom, this looks a little more deeper than, you know, just a mosquito bite. Like, this looks serious. We need to go, right?
Yes.
What advice would you give? And from that moment on, you've been there.
Yes.
What advice or words of wisdom would you give to folks out there who are supporting or want to support those who are in the fight, in the breast cancer fight?
My words of advice would be to have faith, believe in God, just be strong for your loved ones. It may be hard seeing them going through what they're going through, but just have faith and have that fight with them, and don't give up. And you have to be strong for your loved ones, because if they see you being strong and having faith and cheering them on, they don't have no choice but to be strong. So that's my words. Like, God is real. Just pray.
And Miss Marilyn, your words of wisdom to those out there who are either entering this breast cancer fight or are in the thick of it.
I just want to say, you have to know your body. You know, I think everybody should just go and if you feel pain, don't just, go unnoticed. Get it checked out, just like with me. I just thought it was a mosquito bite, you know, and it wasn't a mosquito bite, It was, cancer, you know. So anybody can get cancer, men or women. I think men should, men get breast cancer also.
Yeah.
And I think men should get checked also, you know. And if you feel pain or whatever, get checked. Know your body, nothing should go unnoticed.
Get yearly mammograms.
Yearly mammograms, yes.
Okay.
And you got to get checked out, because you never know,
All right, warrior.
I'm a warrior. That's what I am.
I know you said you wanted to do some shout outs before you got out of here.
I would like to shout out to my mom. She was scared, I'm her daughter, and I mean, she didn't have breast cancer, but her two daughters had breast cancer, so I just want to shout out to my mom. She was always there for me, I know she was scared, but, I'm a fighter, so I fought through there, so she got through it with me, and I just want to thank her for being there for me. Thank you, Mom.
Never too old to be mommy's baby.
Yes. And I just want to thank my coworkers, my job, Volpe and Koenig. Thank you, Volpe and Koenig. Everybody there was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Like, they was great. I couldn't ask for a better, coworkers and, staff.
Like a work family.
The work family, and I'm grateful to them, And, my sister, my brother, my son, grandkids, everybody, And one of my, a dear friend that took me to all my appointments, Veronica Hall, I want to thank you for being there for me, and everybody. I'm just so grateful, that this fight that I'm fighting, and I'm still fighting it, and I'm going to fight it to the end.
I know that's right.
I'm not giving up, Cancer, you don't have me, okay? Thank you.
I think that's a good note to end on, y'all. Miss Marilyn, Kiana, thank you all so much for joining us in the lounge and just being an example of light and strength and fight. We are with you in this fight. Anytime you want to come back, y'all let us know how we can support. I don't think I'll be able to make the walk on Sunday, but
oh yeah, the walk Sunday.
Yes. Do you want to plug that you all are going to be at the walk?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so let folks know where it's at. What time?
We have
it's
a team. It's called Sister Survivors for my mom and my aunt. So my family and my friends will all be walking to support sister survivors and also people who are still fighting and lost the battle. So we're going to be out there having a good time.
All right.
Where's that again?
It's in Pennsauken,
New Jersey.
Yes.
Pennsauken, New Jersey. Okay. All right, loves. Listen, it's about time for us to get out of here, but I want to thank all of my guests. Shout out to Read by Fourth, Joe Conyers, of course, Miss Marilyn Wilson, and her daughter, Kiana Lawson, who you just heard from. Healthy Thursday has been an amazing, amazing show that I think just... If you're not leaving out of here out the lounge inspired, I don't know what to tell you, right? If you're not leaving out of here knowing and believing that you truly can take on any fight, I don't know what to tell you, but to believe, right? But to dig deep and believe. Anywho, you know, it's Friday Eve for me. Frosty's got some stuff planned this weekend. I know he's still getting his plans together, but I'm telling you, I'll be hosting EdFest 2019 on Saturday and Sunday, which of course is presented by the Fellowship BMEC. It's a professional membership organization dedicated to advancing the development, recruitment, and retention of Black male educators in our nation's public schools. This year's theme is Education for the Culture, and it really reaffirms the reality that teachers have always been the original influencers. Yusuf Salam, one of the exonerated five, is the keynote at that conference, and I gotta tell you, they're bringing some amazing folks out for this conference. So our very own DJ Geek is presenting on cohesive culture, because you know her day job is like working with young people ages 18 to 21, but there's a bunch of other folks that are going to be there, so you can catch me there hosting that. And Saturday afternoon you can catch me at the African American Chamber of Commerce's Level Up Summit, where I'll be moderating a panel titled No Is Not Never, Just Not Right Now. It's featuring Catherine Gilmore Richardson, Alan King, Janae Robinson, and Mina Say What. And then of course on Sunday, the onWURD Environmental Summit is going down at Bartram's Garden from 2 to 5 p.m. Make sure you visit WURDradio.com to RSVP or call 215-425-7875, okay? Shout out to my guy, DJ Frosty Phoenix, for holding down the phone lines, the boards, and everything in between. If you haven't already, follow The Lounge across all platforms at The Lounge Word. Connect with me on IG or Facebook at Sincerely Sarita. After The Lounge, stay tuned for the rebroadcast of Philadelphia City Council Live with Vincent Thompson. That's happening tonight from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. And then, of course, be sure to tune in tomorrow night, same time, same place, for the MV McKee Show. God willing, I'll be right back here with you all at the top of next week. But until then, I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita, encouraging you to taste your words before you feed them to someone else, and reminding you to always, always, always empathize, empower, and evolve. Peace.